What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning in the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is the Rapl. That's probably not how you say it, but that's what I said. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Herro OP. His name is Loki, and then you reverse how I said that, and he's playing as Loki, and his name is Herro. The map is Tundra, and it's Sunday, and we are casting until we flop, which is going to be soon, I'm sure. Anyways, Loki versus Zeus on Tundra. This is sure to have fireworks. The Loki player effectively, well, I mean, I'm going to put it this way. I think that Loki actually has on this map a very, very solid, very strong game plan in this matchup, which Loki players aren't aware of. And the fact of the matter is that Zeus players need to go Athena in this matchup. They need to go Hoplite Toxote, because what you want to do with Loki doesn't change until after you see Athena. When you see Athena, you actually don't want to go pure Herso, and you don't want to upgrade yourself Hall of Fame straight away. The idea is that Loki can actually go Herso throwing Axeman at a ridiculously high rate, comparable with Odin and Thor, and actually be able to hold the Athena aggression and then get Hall of Fames a little bit later and start doing the raids that they want to do, because they have all of those throwing Axemans to hold. But what ends up happening, and we're probably going to see this in this game because Herro is an old school player, we see the Loki players going pure Herso and a lot of chaos getting happening, which I love. So while I'm giving you like meta ideas, which would probably be better, the craziness that is Herro is going to be coming for us. And I'm excited to see how this matchup is going to unfold and what Rapl's going to try and do, what Herro is indeed going to try and do here. So we will see. Boomski, we've got Herro here. He's over on this wood. He's over on this food here. He's over on this gold. He's doing the old school builds. I'm telling you, put villages on wood at the start. You save yourself this off start. You get a little bit more wood, a little bit more resources. And then you can live the dream a little bit later. But I mean, nobody cares about what I have to say. It's fine. Same too here with Rapl. He's going for a later advance time. It is undoubtedly better to advance at 4 minutes than at 4 minutes 30 when you go for an Athena rush. If you can do a 4-minute advance time, do it. If you go for 4:30, it means you're going to be sitting around about 200 resources in excess. And normally against most civilizations, it's fine. You just make it a Minotaur. But against Loki, it's less good, obviously, because he's going to be making those Herso. So you do want to advance as fast as you possibly can. And it is seemingly looking like Rapl is just going to go for a standard 4:30 here. And it's not like it's necessarily bad, as we see he's on the herdable here, but it's just not as good as a really fast advance time, in my opinion, here in this matchup. But Herro now just about to click up as well. He's also going for around about a 4:30 here. He's got himself 4 villages or 4 dwarves here on gold. He's going to be moving these gold villages over to wood over here. And he does have a relatively safe home gold mine, which is everything in this matchup when you're going for like traditional Herso shenanigans. So we'll see how it's going to go. The other thing that I've seen from some cheeky Norse players, Shelty to name some, is instead of going to the forward hunt here, you actually sneak your villages off into the corner. There's always going to be Aurochs in these corners here. Now, I'm saying this, people are going to check this now all the time, but if you can secure hunt and not get pushed off it, then you effectively have a really strong showing in the game. So if you can sneak hunt, you get the same thing, but you don't have to even fight for it. So that's always an idea. And one way you can do that is you hunt this hunt until your opponent's here. And once your opponent spots you're here, you kind of just move the villagers off into the corner of the map and enjoy life there and see how you're going to go. So Rapl is now in the second age. He's throwing up his military academy, he's throwing up his archery range, and you can see his resources are floating a little bit here because he's advanced a little bit later. He's got 3 villagers on gold. He's got himself nearly 7 villagers on wood, and he's going to be able to spam these units out fairly easily here in this game. The big important thing here in this matchup is to make sure you are continuously building houses so that you can keep making those units. Now, Herro over here is making himself the first Herso. He's only got 4 villagers on the wood, and the next Herso are going to start coming out, leaving the Skraeling at home to throw up those houses. Is going to be very, very nice here. And the Jason going to get pushed back, as well as the Minotaur here, as the Odysseus going to be wandering forward and start attacking Jimmy Hellmeter. Yes, Jimmy was a name of the Norse, of some Norse heroes back in the day. He's known for wielding a very large hammer, swinging it, and cracking a lot of Greek heads. It's written in the books. It's written very, very nicely in the books, as we are seeing this Minotaur getting dived on here. Nice micro from Rapl to push in, but I think Jimmy Hellmeter might live to see another day here. 9 HP remaining, as the Herso are still chasing this Minotaur down, and in fact will pick that one off, but for the cost of 1 Herso, got to ask the question, was that worth it or not? Maybe even losing a second Herso here. 3 HP remaining, 1 Toxotes falling. We do indeed see an Einhjar spawn. That's going to help out a lot, but the bolt comes down from Rapl immediately there as a Jason falls, and Rapl has got a huge advantage right now as this game is continuing. The question is going to be, where is Rapple's scout? His scout is over on this location, checking out what's happening, making sure nothing's getting snuck over here. But Rapl did not see the villagers moving onto this location. He doesn't know that there's a whole bunch of hunt here, and he can't even see it through the fog because he doesn't know that there's an animal there. So that is a very, very big win for Herro, as he's managed to not have to instantly tap out against the early game Zeus here. As the Herso moving forward, we've got Hall of Thanes coming in for Herro, as he's going to be looking for some sort of an attack here, as the Hoplite does spot the hunting operation going on over here, and Rapple's like, no, you do not get to hunt. You are playing me, and I have the strong army. I am going to stop you. And Herro says, well, okay, you try to stop me. I'm going to leave. See if you can see what you're going to try here. As the Herso running around, and they will return back onto this position. But once he sees all the units here, the villagers will simply make a break for the home locations. We are now starting to see the throwing axemen getting built for Herro, and he's sitting at 55 population. Rapl is sitting at 59 population, as these Herso coming in onto this position do see these villagers, and this is a big, big raid now coming for Herro, as he doesn't quite micro it to the best of his ability there, as Rapl manages to run back to his home base here. He's got to be careful about these Toxotes and the units that are going to pop out of this archery range here, as the army here going straight after this sentry tower. The Toxote getting taken down over here, as the Hoplite wandering in to try and defend this, attempting to micro this one. You really don't want to be fighting this if you are Rapl, because if there's a myth unit spawn here, it's really makes your life very bad. Nice micro from Herro to be distracting with one of those Herso there, as the Hoplite's pushing in one or two of those throwing axemen, getting sniped down. Herso getting trained into the battlefield. We see the Toxote getting sniped out, as Rapl going to be retreating away, more units falling, and there is the Valkyrie spawn for Herro. He should continue pushing forward here, continue to stay on this location. Once that Valkyrie spawn came, that's a huge win for him, but it's looking like he's going to try and retreat back here and pick out all these units. He's got himself 5 Herso on the front, 5 Herso on the back here, and if he can get some sort of a surround onto these units, a ghost building or something to go down and prevent these units from retreating, it's going to be absolutely huge. Rapl is going in onto the tree line here to kind of 300 this, as it were. If you don't know that, got to go watch that movie 300, which you do see Restoration coming in, and Rapl is retreating away. Oh, sorry, Herro is retreating away right now to get away from that situation there, as he's going to have to re-heal his own units by sitting underneath this healing spring. Takes a lot longer than that Restoration, that is for sure, but it is persistent healing. It's going to stay there for a hot minute, that is for sure. And now we retreat onto the healing spring. We're starting to see more of those throwing axemen coming out, as we see that throwing axeman does fall here, and Herro is just going to sit in his base and just wait. Wait for it and see if he can get a whole bunch of healing done. He's going to pull just a handful of Herso. I love this. Pull a handful of Herso with the Valkyrie. The rest of these Herso just simply stay in his base and defend, as we do see this Herso here getting shanked down by these villagers. But Rapl's got to realize that if he's attacking and he's not retreating away from this location, he's going to start losing his life as this Herso manages to live with 2 HP. We see over here the tower getting taken down. The gold has finished here, and this is going to be a difficult situation for both players to deal with right now, as Herro is going to move to his gold line off on the right side. Rapl is forcing, Herro is forcing Rapl back into his base, so he's going to have to get back in. He's got no more sheep left, so he will have to start thinking about farming. He doesn't have his towers. He doesn't have any, does he have resources in the bank? Doesn't really have any resources in the bank, keeping the resources nice and low. There's a hoplite getting out of here. Very low HP on one of those. We do have a healthy mix of those throwing axemen Herso here, as it's seemingly looking like Herro is going to be able to clean these units up very, very nicely. Over here, the bulk Toxotes coming in for Rapl. I love this as the counter to all of those Toxotes. I can't speak. All of those throwing axemen that Herro has made here, and he's going to potentially be able to move in and start taking these ones down. We see the Valkyrie now going for raids in the main base of Rapl. Whenever your opponent does this kind of thing, you just got to shank the Valkyrie down, but Rapl not paying attention. We see 11 HP remaining on the villager. The Valkyrie's at 35 HP. We see a little bit of a fight coming in here as Herro going to try and get in onto this one. He's got to get those Herso around the back of these units if he can. And we'll see what Herro is going to try and do now, as he's run out of goats in his base. He might be thinking about trying to get some hunt in the corners of the maps, as we do see that's exactly where Rapl is going to be there. The Toxotes getting picked off from afar. This is exactly how you have to take these fights. The hard thing is that your Toxotes have only got 4.0 speed, your hoplites have only got 4.7 speed, and if they get out of position, the Herso can come in and cut them off. So what Rapl's going to try and do is hit and run against these throwing axemen with his Toxotes and see if he can get serious damage done here or not. As we see Herro pushing back in, the Toxotes retreating away, the villagers here retreating away from the Herso, the hoplites are here. We see a cheeky ghost building getting thrown down, and this is exactly what I was talking about, where you try and snipe units, but then the Herso come in and create chaos. It doesn't quite work out there for Herro. He's trying to move in and take this fight. This might not be a fight that Herro wants to take, though, as the throwing axemen going to town on those hoplites. The Toxotes should be targeting down the medium throwing axemen as best as they possibly can, and it does seemingly look like that's what Rapl is trying to do. One Valkyrie spawn there for Herro thus far. A troll spawn here to boot, but the Odysseus has already cleaned up one of those myth units and will quickly clean up the other one. 91 pop for Herro. Rapl is at 87 pop, so it's still very, very close. An Einhjar spawn going to be a big, big help for Herro, as he does task the Einhjar in here to jump onto these bulk of these units, and that splash damage comes in and really starts hurting a lot of those units, especially given the extra bonus damage that comes through. Another troll spawn coming in, but it seemingly looks like Rapl has managed to hold on in this fight. Tons of Toxotes remaining now. Herro's here. He's starting to throw up the farms. He's over here on the food, as he's going to be running around the map trying to get as much hunt as he possibly can, delaying those farms. Rapl, on the other hand, he's got himself only 5 villages on food right now, but he has a ton of food in the bank. The gold mine is just about to expire, and we are going to be seeing Rapl thinking about moving in onto this gold mine over here. Herro, on the other hand, throwing up his temple. He did end up losing his temple over here. There is a world where spamming trolls here is actually a good play from Herro, given all the fighting that's happened. And now we see the villagers moving forward, going to try and steal these Aurochs away from his opponent. But the Herso come in. They're going to try and say, get out of here, but they will be unsuccessful at the moment. The dwarves retreating away from this gold mine, as Herro needs to just wait. I'll get a little bit more time to get an army sorted. 91 pop for Herro to Rapl's 107 of 115 population here. We see an armory up for Rapl. I would love to see early chainmail from both players, to be honest, but very much so for Rapl here. Chainmail is one of those technologies which I feel like a lot of players don't realize is ridiculously good, specifically against the Norse. If you find yourself struggling against Norse, consider getting early chainmail in these matchups where you have a lot of fighting, and you will have a lot more success, I would guess, as Norse only deals hack damage, basically. But the Troll's now starting to come through for Herro. He is deciding to take this fight over here as he's got 94 population. He's trying to distract with this Herso. The Toxotes here move in, going to take down those throwing axemen. The Odysseus here snipes down the Troll in the back. The Herso coming through on the back as well. We're starting to see raiding cavalry coming in to clean up these Toxotes. Rapl trying to mark through this one to the best of his ability, but those units are falling very, very fast. However, Rapl does manage to win this fight yet again, as Herro is now sitting at very high amounts of food, not much else. He's making Trolls, he's making Herso, he's making raiding cavalry, and he just does not have the gold just yet. These villagers here on the front, though, are going to be jumping onto this gold mine, jumping up to 20 villagers on gold to help him continue production here. He's only got himself 4 military buildings at this point, and we compare that to Rapl, who's only got 3. Both players might want to consider at this stage throwing more buildings down, and that's exactly what Rappel's doing right in the middle of the map, and that's very smart from him. Let's check out the economic upgrades for a second. We've got hand axe, we've got pickaxe for Rapl, and Herro on the other hand here, he's got nothing. Classic Loki play. Why get economic upgrades when you can get Herso, which give you economy in of themselves? As Herro's now 92 of 115 population, still has not managed to muster a big enough army here to really combat that Athena army that Rapl has made thus far. Now those hoplites, they kind of don't need to worry so much. They can just go after buildings if they want, as we do see villagers have spotted this gold mining operation here, and Rapl is going to be furious seeing this. Herro notices that he's been spotted as he's going to run immediately. We see the Herso jumping onto this gold mine up here. Herro is like, nah, I'm not gonna just sit back and defend in this game. I'm going for the raids. I'm putting the pressure on. These villagers here are going to have to figure out a way back here, because where are they going? The Toxotes are here. The hoplites are here. This is 11 villagers that are going to be walking to their death here as the Toxote ball deals with them nicely. This army over here for Herro, though, kicking off a couple of units. Over here, we see a couple more villagers falling. Rapl definitely gets the win where that's concerned, but Herro's still got dwarves mining elsewhere, and Rapl, so too, has villagers mining elsewhere. We do have a stray military academy trying to come up here for Rapl, but that gets dealt with nicely by just a couple of those villagers there. As the army of Herro is not paying attention, the hoplites coming through. Herro's got to figure out how to get out of here. If you want to retreat fast, grab all these units, grab these units, and then click together, and the units will run away quicker. That is a secret, a very strong secret, and a must-use mechanic if you want to be saving more units than losing. As we do see, this mining camp has been dealt with, and we'll see where Herro is going to go with these units. A town center is now up for Rapl, as we are staying very firmly in the classical age in this game. We still don't see that chainmail that I would have liked to see from Rapl come through, but it doesn't really, well, I mean, it matters a little bit as these villagers here getting pushed off of this gold mine. The raiding cavalry getting some good damage done. One more little hit on that villager will end that villager's life. The villagers here for Rapl going to try and dump the rest of their resources off. No, Rapl still hasn't retreated. We do see the hoplites have come through, have spotted the dwarves. So many dwarf kills here for Rapl as he comes in and snipes them all off here. And now Herro's got next to no villagers remaining. He's going to have to move on to this gold mine over here. He can bring all these villagers here. He's got one ox cart. We do see the raiding cavalry coming up to the top side of the map. We've got idle units here in the middle that could be hitting this gold mine and completely removing gold from everyone's kind of grasp here, as Rapl now moving into the corner and taking more of Herro's hunt here in this game. As we see, the hoplites going to be trying to take down the town center. There are a handful of hoplites here, but it doesn't seem like there is enough to really go after the town center. We're only 9, especially with the trolls being at back. So that's going to be what it is, as we do see the raiding cavalry taking down some villagers in the base of Rapl, as Rapl is not dealing with these raids at all here. He could get himself watchtowers. He could get himself crenellations. Would be very useful. He needs to get more farms get thrown up. We see the Toxotes going to town on these Norse units here, especially with the help of that Odysseus. No Olympic parentage through for the Zeus heroes here. That's the one that gives an extra 25% HP. which obviously is a lot of HP and very necessary against the myth unit ball that Herro has managed to construct. And now Rapl says, well, time to go after the town center here. Funnily enough, I actually think that you should be attacking the units here first and not the town center, because it's one town center that's not doing actually that much damage in the grand scheme of things. But with all of your hoplites taking the town center down, you will indeed lose the fight at the end of this. And is that going to be worth it is the real question here, as the town center just about to fall down. 100 HP, 70 HP, 50 HP, and there it goes. Rapl 98 population. Herro is at 98 population himself here. The Odysseus gonna get taken down very soon. I would love to see that focus down so that the trolls can get some good damage done, but an Iron Hear spawn gonna come in, and Rapl's army gets absolutely wiped here, as Rapl has got a real big issue mounting for himself, and that is going to be gold, and that is repopulating that army he just lost. He's got the villager advantage here, but if he cannot gather gold, he cannot repopulate his army, and I'm sure Herro is going to be noticing that, as the villagers coming over here are going to be starting to shank away the villagers of Rapl. Might move in and try and take down the ox cart, but Herro notices that, going to be retreating that ox cart away. The dwarves starting to fight, and we are going to see those units moving forward. For Herro, he takes the slow units out of his army, the speedy units moving forward, and we might see Herro attempting to take down these units on the front here, as the villagers do start moving away from this location. Villagers have walked onto this gold mine again for Rapl, as he's going to slowly but surely repopulate his army if Herro can't get in and take the map. But that doesn't mean that the game is going to be over. No siree, even if Rapl can get his army back, because it's seemingly looking like Herro has got somewhat of an advantage militarily. It's just that his economy is absolutely shot here. As we do see, these villagers have been spotted. Every villager kill here is very big for Herro. I'd love to see the town center in the middle of the map get grabbed when Herro can afford it, but we see one ox cart sharing between all of these gatherers is obviously not the best. And now the raiding cavalry sniping straggler units here. Nice play to continue that pressure. Another villager getting picked off, as now Herro has to figure out, well, he needs to get onto this gold mine here essentially, and he's making his way over there somewhat. He's getting a town center here. Okay, I like this town center. It's right in the middle of all of these military buildings, so that means that the units get created. He's gonna have to deal with town center fire basically, but the hoplite's going to come in, and Herro's going to have to retreat away from here, especially because he doesn't have his units just yet. But Rapl is not paying attention here. We see a Valkyrie spawn for Herro, as these villagers are all falling. The army of Herro retreating back. Maybe Herro should turn, not 100% sure. Rapl's at 87 of 130 population. He needs this army over here like yesterday and continuing his pressure, but he's going after the villagers in the town center right now, trying to stop that economy as best as he can. But I don't think that he can win this fight, and the longer Herro waits to engage here, the stronger this army gets for Rapl, as he's now at 93 population, which is obviously getting very, very close to Herro's potential 100 population here, as the army is going to swing around the back and attempt to take this fight right now from the back here. The hoplites ready to fight. We've got the throwing axemen here doing their thing as well. If we take a look, we've got no armor upgrades for either player here. That Iron Hear are going to help out a ton, but it's seemingly looking like Rapl's army doing a very nice job here, as the engagement from Herro just coming in that little bit too late, taking too much damage. Herro now has to retreat. He does have the resources in this town center to rebuild somewhere else. We'll see if he's going to try and do that or not. But Rapl has got the economy going. He's still losing villagers, though, to a Valkyrie raid, as Herro is just continuing to put pressure on everywhere, as the town center getting taken down. Here's the units returning back in onto this position. Still no attempt at this town center to come back up. Herro's walking straight past this army. He doesn't care. And he says, I'm coming onto this gold no matter what. And look at this from Rapl, just gold mines everywhere. Why not gather from every gold mine? If you've got enough gold mines, may as well. Essentially, Rapl's just like, we got 0 town centers. If I just keep making villages, I can be fine here. And Herro's like, I'm going to keep killing villages. I don't have villages. But Rapl is now defending nicely. More units for Herro are falling. Herro's at 85 of 100 population. He's actually nearly got enough resources to advance here, as we're still seeing Herro insistent on grabbing a forward town center here. And I think this actually reveals it reveals to Rapl that this town center is going to be going up. So we'll see if he's going to react to that or not. We're seeing military academies coming up here as Rapl was attempting some sort of a ghost building to prevent these guys from coming in. Rapl now ready to get himself a third town center in this game. Over here we see the raiding cavalry going after these villages here, as Herro desperately wanting a town center in this game. But Rapl, he is heroic age now, which means one very, very difficult thing. Hypaspist are on the way, as we can probably start seeing them very shortly, I would assume, as well as irrigation. But Hypaspist will be on the way, which shut down the infantry units of Herro, which means Herro is going to have to go basically full into raiding cavalry, and things start becoming very, very difficult for him. But we are seeing Bragi on the way for Herro. So one last hurrah with a flaming weapons, a potential way to just delete this army of Rapl. Rapl does have 3 town centers, does have a bronze, so it's not going to be an immediate victory. We'll see how the myth unit spawns end up coming here. And Herro turning around and fighting this, not what he wants to do, losing all of those units, it seems. Maybe one raiding cavalry escapes with 1 HP to tell the tale. And we do see the hoplites swinging in here, going to be checking out what's happening. He can go after those farms, which will be absolutely brutal to Herro. And now, not only this, but Rapl could actually go mythic through Herro and completely shut down flaming weapons. Because, I mean, flaming weapons is great and all, but if you have no units, you don't do anything. As Bragi pops there for Herro, he does have a little bit of a timer to use it because of that flaming, that potential lightning storm, which Zeus has access to. We see the Heracles and Jason going to town on these hearse over here, but the villagers still falling. As over here, the army for Rapl circling around the back, taking those villages out, preventing the gold mining operation, the wood gathering operation here. The trolls in the back doing their darndest to deal with those hoplites. There's very few heroes in this army, just the Odysseus. But the Odysseus would be enough to deal with those trolls and continue fighting there. But Rapl decides better off retreating, as we see a Hersa coming onto this position. But Rapl is just going to shank away, finish off the Hersa. All good. We see the Jason getting taken down over here. The Heracles getting taken down as well. As the hoplites coming through, going to start taking down this town center. These trolls are here. If Rapl wants to pay attention, he can destroy those trolls with his Odysseus. But this town center is going to go down very, very fast. Do we see a mythic age? No, we do not. But we do see fortified town centers coming through for Rapl, and he is still managing to mine in this gold mine at the top. He's on this gold mine as well. We've got a stray battle ball going after our town center here, as Herro is still trying his darndest to create chaos in this game. The Hersa have found even more villages to target down. Every time these Hersa are attacking, that's favor pool that they're gaining, which means that's more potential hero myth units that he can get from them. And now he's in the heroic age. That's frost giants, mountain giants, and battle board that he's unlocked. So that can be a very big help here if he gets the right ones, as we do see Hypaspis does spot these gold villagers mining over here, but the hoplites moving back in onto this position. The Hydra in the back here going after this one as well. The Toxoides need to be pulled off of the town center to start targeting down these throwing action here. Rapl deciding to simply just pull back. He is still getting closer and closer to the mythic age, and now he will be clicking up. I imagine it's going to be Hera. Hera is the god of choice, makes perfect sense. Lightning storm to kill off all those units against the flaming weapons is 100% what you want to be doing, or at the very least you can just attack the town center, cast lightning storm, and then the town center will be gone, preventing any potential mythic age from Herro. But I tell you what, Herro didn't even start producing villages when he clicked that town center. He just clicked heroic and said, look, I'm going to stay at 30 villages for the rest of the game. I don't care. And now the Herso moving into this position. But with all of those Hypaspis, they do so much damage to the Norse heroes. It's just impossible to continue with them against those units there. As we see the army now moving forward for Herro, trying to take this fight. He might need to consider casting flaming weapons, as Rapl's mythic age is nearly 50%. That's 45 seconds away, which is going to be plenty of time, it seems, to get. And once that comes through, I'm not sure what Herro can really do, especially because then you also get access to the Medusa to one-hit myth units, the Bellerophon to one-hit myth units, Myrmidon, which are really difficult to deal with. It all starts looking very, very difficult as the army coming back onto this town center yet again. Bronze getting clicked here by Rapl as the flaming weapons gets cast here. A battle ball spawning. Rapl going to try and bring Herro away from this position. We see that wall attempt here from Herro coming up, but it's not quite enough. And obviously, maybe not obvious to Herro, but obvious to us, Rapple's intention here is to drag the army away and then lightning storm here. Drag it away from the town center so the lightning storm does a whole bunch of damage. There it goes. And in that moment, Herro insta taps out. He cannot bear to see his army torn to shreds by a lightning storm. He realizes the game is done, and that is it. GG, well played by Rapl. A nice attempt by Herro, but you will remember at the start of the game, the big problem was that Herro got pushed off of food and then was sort of fighting from behind for the rest of it. I think that had you had 300 of that initial 300 wood that goes into Hall of Thanes, if instead of into Hall of Thanes that was throwing axemen, I feel like you're actually able to fight and defend this initial thing, and then you can just sit there happily on your hunt, producing plenty of units, getting your Hall of Thanes a little bit later. So while Herro did go in with the army, which is correct, the Herso throwing axemen army, it was just ordered wrong, and he was playing from behind because of it. And while it was a very, very nice attempt from Herro to try and get back into the game, Rapl is too good, and he manages to stay alive here. There was also some very, very nice raids coming from Rapl. He picked off so many villages here and everywhere else. Really, really nice play from Rapl to punish Herro from mining in unsafe areas. And that is the game here. I think one of the more interesting statistics here in this game is going to be civilian units. As you can see, for a moment here in this game, Herro's actually well in the lead here. 53 villages, drops down here after he loses a whole bunch and then has to drop down again. But then he's just from effectively 17 minutes into the game when that town center was removed. It's 19 minutes and 11 seconds. Herro didn't produce any villages. So he was at 33 villages, 32 villages, 31, 29 villages. And that's just too much to overcome for even Loki here, it would seem. And that's the game. GG. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.